Hey guys, and welcome to what's possibly the saddest video on the internet today. A Google fanboy has watched the latest Pixel come to life, and it's actually depressing. The most depressing thing I've actually heard all day. Let's start talking generally about the phone and then get right into everything that's wrong with the Pixel. So let's start with the design. So it's identical to the Pixel 2 and it's physically exactly the same size as the Pixel 2 XL. But all they've done is obviously shrunk the bezels completely down, so you get a bigger screen and the same body as the Pixel 2 XL. Specs were pretty much what we expected. So 4 gigs of RAM, Snapdragon 845, 4 gigs of RAM, did I mention 4 gigs of RAM? They have 2 cameras at the front and 1 at the back. The 2 cameras at the front, you've got 1 standard camera, 1 wide angle camera, so you can see more of yourself and the people you're with and what's in the background if you want to take a picture with like a bridge or something. There's also a lot of AI and features dumped into the camera app, which is pretty damn cool. So you've got features such as the high quality zoom. RAW is now inside the Google camera after billions of years of like having code within the Google camera app to support RAW. It's finally there. You've also got Top Shot, which picks like the best photo in case you blink or you sneeze or you cough or something like that while you're taking a picture. Then you've also got Night Shot, which is something really cool actually. Not that Google's cameras weren't good at taking night photography to begin with, but they like brighten up the whole scene now and it looks super cool and interesting. Moving to the other features such as call screening, which if you don't want to pick up the calls and you don't like people or you don't want to answer telemarketers and whatnot, you can actually get the Google Assistant to more or less speak for you, and then it just pretty much puts a whole transcript of the convo of what's going on, and you can also tap buttons and tell your assistant to say certain things back on the phone call, which is pretty damn cool. Wireless charging is finally there. And as you put it on its little wireless charger stand, the phone changes behavior and acts differently and shows you different features. There's 2 issues I have with the Pixel, and honestly, as a Google fanboy, as someone who has literally owned every single Nexus that's ever come out and every single Pixel that's ever come out, I'm actually so sad it's not even funny. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm probably going to buy the Pixel 3 or the XL, potentially the smaller one this time, because geez, that notch is disgusting. And the most depressing thing about all of this is the fact that Google is becoming more like Apple. I miss the days of the Galaxy Nexus where Google was the first to bring out this like curved screen with on-screen buttons and a massive display, and they're always pushing the envelope for what Android phones should be like, and they were making those reference hardwares, and I just miss all of that so much. And I feel like all we have now is Google capitalizing on the fact that people will buy the Pixel because it's got a great camera and just cheaping out on the rest of the phone, because that's effectively what they're doing. I just feel like there was no innovation, there was no creativity. I always believed that Apple didn't have engineers. What Apple had was a photocopier, and what they did every year was take last year's phone, put it onto their photocopier, and move the notch to like 110% and just recopy it just to make it a little bit bigger every year. For the first time, I'm pretty sure I can say exactly the same thing about this year's Pixel. I genuinely feel like that's genuinely how I feel, and it makes me sad saying that, but that's genuinely how I feel. I'm not taking away from any of the software features and how amazing that is, because that's literally the reason I'll probably go and buy the Pixel, because the software and all those features look amazing. I'm talking just plain hardware right now. What were they thinking with the fact that it still has 4 gigs of RAM? Don't start me on that notch. That's just hideous, and no matter what Google says to justify the notch being there, it's not an excuse. The notch should have not been that fat. It should not have been that big, and the phone should have not had a chin if it was going to have that notch. That's the simple matter of the fact. I'm sorry, but that's just the truth of it. And yes, front-facing speakers, but that's still not an excuse. Get rid of the front-facing speakers. Just do what... If you're going to copy Apple, put that notch there, copy them properly, put a small notch, get rid of your front-facing speakers, and get rid of the chin. That's the simple matter of the fact. Or else just do what Samsung does and keep symmetrical bezels on top and bottom, nice, thin, and small. But that's for me, guys. Let me know if you're going to be buying any of the products. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!